right? The way you build the discipline muscle up is to use it. And going up there and saying, well, I drove 2 hours, I'm not going to do that stupid thing. No, do it. Go win 10% and go back home. I dare you to. It's really, really hard. And it will challenge you. And if you can do that, you're going to learn how to win on the regular. You're going to learn how to do what I'm talking about here, which is locking up your money. All right, we're almost to the end of the gambling session, to the gambling series, the 101 to 401. We're almost done with it. I got a couple of things left to talk about. And again, tomorrow's show is going to be this screen for like an hour. We're going to talk about bringing it all together. I want to get tomorrow to bring everything home, like your goal, your strategy, your bankroll, your mindset, your discipline. What does it all look like when it's all in front of you at a table? Like, how do you really kind of coalesce all that, or combine it all, or make the soup that is all these things we've been talking about now for 4 or 5 months, right? Today, I want to talk about the simplest thing, which is locking it up, locking it down, getting your money in your rack and keeping it in your rack. This is the hardest part of all of it, okay? You can practice throwing the dice all you want to, right? And if you can get better than 1 out of 100, great, right? If you can find the way to do it, great. If you have the bankroll to support your habit, cool, right? If you got a strategy that works with whatever, cool, right? But if you're a degenerate and you don't leave when you're locked in profit, it's all for naught. Doesn't matter. Okay, so here's some advice for you on this level. Okay, 1, know your numbers. Okay, dollar amounts and percentages, know them both, right? How much money are you up or are you down at any given moment? As an example, I went out with Iron Cross. We had $100 out there, right? 25, 30, 30 on the 5, 6, and 8. We had $15 in the field, $100 out there, $50 on the don't, $150 in action. Okay, which means I have $350 in my rack. Okay, I get a hit on the 6. It's $20. Boom, I'm up $20. Okay, great. What's the percentage of $20 out of 500? What is the percentage of that? You got to know that. Okay, how much percentage of my goal is each win? If I'm looking to win $100, right? 20%. I'm looking to win 20%. I want to win $100 on that $500, right? That $20 win, right, is 20% of my goal. I need 5 of those wins. How many wins do I need to get out? 5 wins of a 5, 6, or 8, right? If I'm going to use the field to press the box, it can reduce that down to 4 wins perhaps, but you better damn well know what it takes to get your number. Because a lot of times you'll take your field, you'll grab the 9. You'll take your field, you'll grab the 4. You take your field, you press the 9. You get a hit on the 6, and you're like, okay, I got $20 in the rack. What's out there? You better darn well know you got 2 hits on that 9. That's $30 out there plus $20 in your rack. That's $50. You're halfway home. You better know during the course of play where you are. How many more wins do you need to get out of Dodge? You better know that. If your first one is a win, I say the immediate wins here matter, because if you go out with $500 and you go 96 across and you pop a win on the first roll, somebody rolls in a 5, right, for $21. Okay. What are you doing right there? That you've already won 20% of your spread. Okay. 20% of your bankroll, no, but 20% of what you went out there with, you just took it off the table, right? 20% win off of what you got out there is good. Okay. You better know what that means to you in terms of where you are in the moment in your rack and what your goal was for that shooter. If your goal is to win 20% of what you started with on each shooter, 1 hit and down is okay. Relax. Let the next shooter come out, win 20% on that guy too, if that's how you want to play. But you better know what that means. If you say things like, hey, I'm trying to get out of the hand. I've heard this said a lot. Casino Quest uses that terminology a lot. Jeremy Clark uses that terminology a lot. I've used it. What does it mean to get out of the hand? Okay. Get out of the hand means this. Let's say I go 66 inside. Okay. Let's say that I press them, right? 20, I get a hit. I go 22 inside pressure. I get another hit and I can bring it all the way down, right? And I'm out of the hand. And now I'm playing 44 inside and I'm quote unquote out of the hand. What does that mean? That typically means 100% profit. Okay. If you go 96 across in a craps table and you get out of the hand where you win, let's say 4 bets, 4 rolls, you win, and you got your money back in the rack. You say, look, I did it. I'm out of the hand. I'm playing with profit now. Okay. What does that mean? Look at what I got on screen here. that might mean you have 100% profit. If you're out of the hand and you're still playing with what you started with, you started with 96 across, you got 96 bucks back in your rack and you got 96 bucks out there, 100% profit. Do that anywhere else in your life. Do that my house is about to sell for a massive amount of money, right? It's going to be about a 40% profit over the course of 9 years, right? My 401k might grab me 8, 9, 10%, right? You're not making 100% profit anywhere else in the world, okay? If you pull that off on a craps table or you pull it off on a roulette table, you go, and you get 1, 2, 3 hits and you've got your initial spread back, 100% freaking profit. Think about that. There's no shame in getting the hell out of there with 100% profit. But most of you are too stunad to say, no, that's not enough for me. I'm not satisfied with that. Be in the moment, please, with that stuff, okay? I say this, discipline is the biggest key, right? The reason why it drives, math guys crazy when I win, the way that I win, and I win pretty regularly, and the reason why I think I'm up for my life is because I have discipline, which means I am able to walk, right? It's a quality of being able to behave and work in a controlled way, which involves obeying rules and standards, right? If you're disciplined, you're rational, you're not tribal, you're not going with the Joneses, you're making informed decisions. I know how much I'm up, I know how much I'm down, I know what's out there on the table, I know what's in my rack, right? You're making informed decisions and your mind is critically thinking, okay? In chat here, we have Jacob talking about sports betting can make 100% on almost every bet. If you can make 100% on a bet or on a session or on a series, that is yeoman's work. It's incredible work. It's almost a miracle to take 100% profit from a casino, right? Be happy with that. Joe's happy with 10%. I'm happy with 20% most of the time. You can bring 100% off the table. It's an unbelievable, right? So have discipline to do that, okay? I say this, here's ways to do it, right? One, and you watch me do it every day, stash my buy-in. Every dollar off that table goes back into my rack in a certain spot that I've set aside to make my buy-in look like it did when I bought in, right? I start building that rack up, and as soon as I see my rack have exactly what I started with in it, well, I know whatever else is in my rack and whatever else is out there is my profit. Okay. I will instantly, that's my first regression. Boom. I'll pull money off the table. I'll reduce bets and roulette. I'll take my stack down and Bach, whatever I'm doing. And I'll say, look, starting bankroll's back, profit is locked. I'm stashing my goal or some percentage of my goal the second I can do it. And that's never going back out. I took my $500 or my $1,000 and I brought back that plus 100 or that plus 250, that ain't ever going back to the casino. It's never going back in that session for sure, right? Lock it. Then I switch to something different. At that point, I switch to maybe what I call a save and play, okay? Where every win, I split it in half. Half goes and increases my profit lock. Half goes back into my play pile. And every win, half and half, half and half, half and half. So I'm taking half and I'm playing half, taking half and I'm playing half. And before you know it, my play stack has enough money to go out there and do something real with it, right? But I'm building it up. I'm same plan of attack, not changing strategy, just changing how I take my money off the table. I can do a little example for that if you'd like to see it. You can also transition to a short stack. Once your money's back and you locked your profit up, change to a short stack play. We talked about this last week. What is a short stack play? Well, it could be a completely different strategy, right? Instead of going 96 across, if I've got $40, I might have to do something different. I might do a couple of come bets. I might switch games. I might take my craps winnings in my pocket and take the $40 to the baccarat table and go for a run, right? That short stack can be something totally different. How much am I up or down? What percentage is my losses and wins? And how many wins do I need to make that short stack take care of itself in such a way that I can go back out with it again at the spread I want to play at? These are the things that you got to do to keep your rack right. If you don't do these things and you just degenerate and just go, right? You're going to take profit. And what we say here, Washington State Cougars football, we have a saying at Wazoo called Cougin it, right? Cougar, they're the Cougars, right? We say you couged it, which means you snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. They do that all the time up there, right? Be up on somebody, 2 TDs in the fourth quarter and find a way to throw it back, right? Don't coug it at the craps table. Please do not coug it at the craps table or at the baccarat table. It's so important to have the discipline to get out and walk. Now, I gave you this challenge a long time ago. Dice Degen took the challenge, and he will tell you in chat right now how hard this is. A triple dog dare you to take the Patrick challenge. And he says this: if you think you got what it takes to be a professional gambler, if you think you have what it takes, or you want to give it a shot, okay, do it with a tiny amount of money. This challenge is not about the dollars. It's about the percentages, okay? Take $100 to the casino every day for 30 straight days. Win $10 or lose 50, whatever you're going to set your goals to be. Win and loss. Doesn't matter what the number is. 5-10%, and go home. Okay. Now, if you have to drive 3 hours to the casino, I get it. It's not worth the gas money to do it. Do it in different sessions. Go to the casino one day, buy in for $100, win 10, walk away for an hour. Go watch TV. Go to the sports book. Get a coffee. Come on back, session 2, and do it again. Can you? Will your brain allow you to? Will your heart allow you to? Will your soul allow you to buy in, win 10%, and get out? And that might mean buying in for, $500 and going 96 across and taking 2 hits, which is about $40, depending on what comes out. That's 10%, and bugging out. Be like, okay, that's it. I won $47 out of 500. Bye-bye. Color me in 2 rolls of the dice. Color me in. If you're shooting the dice, then great. Then you just, find a way to keep playing for a second. But that's it. Get out. Get out, right? Do you have the balls to do that? I bet you most of you don't, right? Especially if you got to drive. I've done this. I have driven a half an hour, won $10, and come back 30 times. Now, I haven't won 30 times in a row. You lose sometimes, right? But I've done the challenge, right? The way you build the discipline muscle up is to use it. And going up there and saying, well, I drove 2 hours, I'm not going to do that stupid thing. No, do it. Go win 10% and go back home. I dare you to. It's really, really hard, and it will challenge you. And if you can do that, you're going to learn how to win on the regular. You're going to learn how to do what I'm talking about here, which is locking up your money, right? Stash your buy-in, stash your profit, and switch up and play something simple, okay? And have a good money management plan. The money management is key. It's not going to make you win. It's not the secret to beating the casino. It's the secret to not getting your ass kicked, number 1. And it's the secret to locking up the profits when you get them, because they're not easy to get. They're not easy to get. Okay, there's $500. Now, you know that I use lammers to separate my money so I can see. I use them because I'm stupid. I can't see very well oftentimes, right? And when I do this, I use my lammers, or you can use white chips, or you can use quarters to separate your money. And it's very easy to see where you're at. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, $500. Nice and simple. Now let's say that I did something. Let's say that I went out there for 96 across. Let's just do it. We'll do 96 across. I'll get $4 and change. Okay, on the craps table. Actually, let's do something easier than that. We'll just do something a little simpler. We'll do the field. Let's say I go in the field. Okay, and let's say I lose a bet in the field. Okay, that's a bummer. Let's say I go back out in the field and the 2 rolls, and I get $50, and I stack one and I pull one. Okay, look at my rack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 75. But I know I've got 525 total. I'm not at my goal yet. But if that bet happens to win, what do? I pull the money back to my rack and I say, look, first things first. There is my starting bankroll. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, $500. There is $75. 10% of that is 50. That's my lock. That's my lock. What do I do from this point forward? I could lock 75 and go home, if you have that kind of discipline, or I can take that quarter, make it look like 5 nickels, and do something different, and take 2 cracks at maybe getting a win on the inside. If I catch another field win here for $10, I might go up and pull. Up 1, lock up an extra. So play half, keep half. And if the $15 happens to win again, I can do the same. I can go up by maybe 1 more or 2 more and lock up another one. So again, if it comes back to here, it's never going back out there. If it's in the back half of my rack, my starting bankroll, my goal money, and excess profit along with, it's never going back to the casino. Once it's back in here, it never goes back. And that's the way I do it, right? I got money out there. I got money to play with. Now, I might lose this bet, and that would suck. I have another crack at it. I have another $10 to go back out there with. And hey, let's say we win, right? Cool, right? Up by one, pull one more back. And my play stack has 20 bucks in it. I could switch gears and go somewhere else. I can go take this to the Bach table. I can go, instead of field, which is volatile, let's go to the come, less volatile. And I'll let somebody grab a number, like an 8. And I'll take my 10 bucks and I'll put it out there either as odds on the 8, or I'll grab a second number, or I'll take the 20 bucks and grab the hard ways. But I'm still locking my bankroll, my goal, and the excess wins that I pulled off that table. This is the stack and stash, right? The stack and save. Save and play. This is what I'm talking about. Lock, 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 play half, keep half, and keep on building that thing up. And when this money loses that's out here, when it goes away, and so do you. But you go away here, you're not saying, well, I won my 50 bucks. That's enough money to go back out there at 44 in. And before you know it, you lose the $44 and you're back at your starting bankroll, and now you got to start over again, right? Take the win and lock it up. Very hard to do. It's very hard to do it. I'm telling you, that's why I give you the challenge. Let me go back over here again. That's why I gave you the challenge, and I call it a challenge. It's really hard to have this myopic or this tiny little goal and stick to it, because it's easy. Winning the 44 bucks was easy, or the 50 bucks was so easy the first time. I can do that again, right? It's not easy to win 50 bucks. It ain't easy to win 20% or 10% or 100%. It's not easy. So when it happens, find the way that works for you best to lock it up, okay? And again, for me, right, I do the save and play, right? I lock my initial, I lock my goal, and every win from that point forward is half and half. Half to me, half to them. Half to me, half to them. And if I can get that spread out there big enough, then great, right? We're locked up and I'm satisfied. That's, I think, a switch that you can turn on, but it takes practice to get going, right? You got to be able to turn that switch on. If you can't do this, if you can't lock profit and walk, if you don't have the guts to walk out when you're at your goal, you're never going to be a long-term success. You're going to have fun. You're going to have some home runs and great stories to tell. You're also going to burn through your whole bankroll just as many times and have also stories to tell, right? If that's what you're after, then this series and this way of thinking isn't for you. But if you want to last long and play it out and do the thing, this is my recommendation for it. Okay. Once I'm up in a session, I never go down. You're 100% right. That is my goal. If I get up in a session, and when I say up, I mean up a satisfactory amount. If I bought in for 500 and I win $10, that's not up and going home, right? I'm looking to win at least 10, 20%. So 500 bucks, I'm looking to win another 100, right? If I win 100 out of the 500, 100%, that's never going back out. Never going back out there with that, unless I'm out there for a night out with friends, right? If I'm going to the casino, and again, in Vegas, wake up in the morning, get my coffee, go to the table, trying to win, build bankroll up, because in the afternoon, when Craig from Old Bay Craps and Dice Degen show up and they want to have fun, I got 500 bucks that I've won that I can light on fire. And those sessions, I will not do the thing, right? Those sessions, you're just trying for home runs. It's a whole different mindset. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to leave us a comment here in the comment section for the video, but really better still, join us on Discord. Go to casinogaming.tv and hit the community link in the menu there and join our Discord. That's where me, other YouTubers, and all of our subscribers hang out. We sit there and talk strategy and just BS kind of all day long. It's a great way to get connected and stay connected and kind of interact with the team, learn about meetups and get-togethers and all that kind of stuff. So with all that said, again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate your time. God bless you, and I will see you in the next one.